Friday means it's time for our weekly arts and culture segment. We have our culture correspondent Song Yoo-jin in the studio. Hey there, Yoo-jin.
Happy Friday, Jungmin.
Happy Friday. What do you have for us today?
Well, Jungmin, this week I want to talk about classical music because spring is sort of like classical music season here in Korea. The second oldest out of Korea's three major classical music festivals, the Tongyeong International Music Festival, took place just last month. And this week is actually big because the oldest, the Symphony Festival with Hanwha, is running until this Sunday. And we also saw the youngest, the Song Festival of Chamber Music, kicking off a few days ago. Now, SSF, as this festival is also known, may have the shortest history among the three, but it's driven by a significant purpose. So for this week, here's what you can expect at this year's edition. The youngest of Korea's big three classical music festivals is back. The Seoul Spring Festival of Chamber Music has returned for its 19th edition. The orchestrator is first-generation classical musician and violinist Kang Dong-seok. Back in 2006, Kang teamed up with the Seoul city government to turn his dream into reality.
That was one of my dreams, that to start something in Korea. And this kind of festival exists everywhere in the world, you know, and in any major cities they would have this kind of, you know, very specific festival devoted to chamber music. So.
But SSF isn't just about performances. It's about breaking down barriers, especially in chamber music, and making classical tunes accessible to everyone.
I think it's just they have some kind of cliche that chamber music is difficult and not accessible and all that, but I think that's completely wrong. So we have to try to prove that.
Joining Kang this year are 59 musicians in perfect harmony under the theme All in the Family. The lineup includes performances from families of musicians to ensembles who forged tight bonds through years of collaboration. Among the performers is Matthew Dufour, former principal flutist at the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra.
It's quite intense, but it's always such a great opportunity to see old colleagues, you know, and to meet also new ones. And I have to say, in Korea, there are so many fantastic young musicians, and so that's why it's exciting. It's kind of
SSF's impact goes beyond the stage. Throughout the festival's nearly two-decade run, Korea has seen a rise in chamber music festivals across the country.
Festivals like SSF are really making classical music more accessible by offering the public a series of top-notch performances. Also, with more festivals popping up and increased funding from both the public and private sectors, they're able to attract better artists and put on more captivating shows in proper venues.
For those who wish to explore the world of classical music, the Seoul Spring Festival of Chamber Music runs until May 5th.
Yoo-jin, for those who are interested, tell us a bit more about the programs that this year's SSF has to offer.
Absolutely. So we have 11 concerts remaining. Most of them will take place at the Seoul Arts Center. We actually have one coming up that starts in an hour. The concert is titled Family Tragedy, and all programs of SSF are worth watching, but a lot of people say its highlight is its iconic outdoor concert at late President Yoon Bo-seon's more than 150-year-old hanok, or the Korean traditional style house, in Seoul's Anguk-dong in Jongno-gu district. So Yoon served as Korea's second president from 1960 to 1962, and that concert starts tomorrow, Saturday at 5:30 p.m. And tickets for each concert of SSF can be bought online, and the 13-day festival will conclude with its final concert, Finale Tragico, next Sunday at the Seoul Arts Center.
A classical music concert at a hanok, what a combination. And Yoo-jin, besides the classical music festival, what are some other ways to promote Korean classical music to both domestic and global audiences?
So experts suggest that the key to making classical music more beloved is, of course, top-notch musicians and performances. And Korea is actually doing quite a good job at this front because, as you know, we've been continuously seeing Korean musicians winning titles at international competitions and also joining world-class orchestras. So what we could do as of now is more classical music concerts, shaking things up a bit from its traditional format with the musicians front and center and the audience science in the background. So for example, setting up professional management systems like they do in the K-pop industry, increase somewhat like a classical music ensemble group, or making more audition or entertainment programs involving these musicians could really help classical music and the musicians becoming more friendlier to the public.
Absolutely. Thanks, Yoo-jin. My pleasure.